with their manager, Jimmy Hart. From New York City, handsome Jimmy Valiant. From Memphis, Tennessee, Jerry the King Lawler. This match will be to the expiration of time. Referee Jerry Calhoun.
Woogie! Jerry Calhoun saying, let me have one in here. Rick Gibson across the way will be the one starting. Lawler off with his jacket, and Jimmy off with his whatever, and now his shades he's about to get rid of.
His eyes.
Yeah, getting rid of his eyes. Let's see who it's going to be, Jim. Come on now. Get it on. We're ready for some wrestling action. Lawler will be starting. We're ready for it. Bell. Divvy.
Rick Gibson starting against the King, Jerry Lawler. The expiration of time match. All kinds of complaining coming from the corner of Lawler, Hart, and Valiant. Don't know exactly what the complaint was about. Oh, Lawler! Thrown across the ring. Rick Gibson got a drag, and he just threw him all the way across the ring. Lawler sailing through the air. Jimmy Hart comes in and says, hey, referee, he couldn't have done that unless he pulled tight. Lawler says, yes, sir, you're right. Look, here's how he did it. And Jerry Calhoun goes over to Rick Gibson and says, is that true? We didn't see it. Rick Gibson says he did not. Never saw it, Jimmy. Saw it. Looked like a clean drag right across the ring to me. One minute, 12 seconds into the action. Back in the corner. Rick Gibson hooks the arms, hangs on. Lawler was going to fire him across the ring. Rick Gibson reverses it on him. We were watching that time. No tights, Jimmy. Yeah, no tights. Clean. Nothing wrong with it.
He's seen it with his own eyes. Yes. Come here, ref.
Lawler again says, come here, referee. Let's talk it over. Rick Gibson says, here's how I did it. Lawler says, here's how he did it. And I guarantee you the discussion is not going to get us anywhere. Rick Gibson, center of the ring, waiting for Jerry Lawler. Lawler hanging back close to the corner. 2 minutes, 10 seconds gone. First fall of action in an expiration of time match. Hart, seated in the chair over in the corner. Rick Gibson kicked at him as if to say, hey, sit down and be quiet. Lawler back into action now with Rick Gibson. Rick with a headlock, back to the rope. Lawler fires him into the rope. Both of them going on the rope. Rick Gibson jumps out of the ring, grabs Jimmy Hart. Lawler still going back and forth. Lawler is still rolling back and forth against the ropes. Rick Gibson jumped out of the ring and surprised Jimmy Hart. He grabbed him, he picked him up by the hair and said, hey, here I am. Oh, me. Referee Jerry Calhoun had come out of the ring to get Rick Gibson back in there. Now he's back in. Rick Gibson, Jerry Lawler, still in the ring. Lawler wants Rick disqualified for jumping out of the ring. I don't think there's much grounds to stand on there, as long as he was back before the referee counted 10. Rick Gibson with a headlock over to the corner and tags brother Robert. Robert Gibson comes in with the right hand, fired to the rib cage. Hand full of hair by Lawler. He dropped with a fist. Robert was gone, and Lawler slugged the mat. 4 minutes into the first fall. Lawler trying to work his way back to the corner for the tag. Whoop. Oh, double team action, but it backfired as Robert Gibson smacked Handsome Jimmy. He had his right fist pulled back. He was ready to unload on Robert. And Robert got him first. Now Lawler comes over and says, hey, what happened? We had it set up there. I was going to fire him into the ropes, and I was going to let you slug him. But it just didn't work out quite that way. There's a tag. Handsome Jimmy Valiant from the Big Apple, New York City. Robert Gibson greets him. Robert Gibson with Handsome Jimmy Valiant on the mat. Handsome Jimmy puts Robert Gibson into the rope. Rolls him off with the arm lock. Valiant dropped to the mat. Rick Gibson jumps in and grabs Lawler. He slugged him. Robert Gibson still has a headlock on Handsome Jimmy. Valiant and Robert Gibson are the two legal men in the ring right now.